I'm Dennis Fowler, and I just got back from visiting my family in Jar, Alabama, which was fun. When the plane landed in LA, I went directly to my psychiatrist's office. I always do. I hate Jar. I always hated Jar. For many reasons, but primarily because it's called Jar. Do you need any other reason when your hometown is called Jar? I mean, the only name that would be worse for a hometown that I can think of is Bedpan. It's an awful place. They don't appreciate style there, and I'm all about style, which is why I am the exclusive comedian for Morgan Gray's Handsome Style. I'll give you an example. When I got off the plane with my signature Morgan Gray's bag in my hand, a guy said, "Nice purse." And I'm pretty sure he wasn't being sincere.
They're very masculine.
Seymour, please! I'm in the middle of a show. Anyway, Jar is an awful place, but especially it's an awful place for a gay boy to grow up, especially when he had to suffer the humiliation that I did. Because my parents had to have known I was gay, but they would never admit it. But I knew that they knew by their actions toward me. I'll give you an example. When I was 13, my brother and I asked for horses for Christmas. And on Christmas Day, my parents took us out to see our horses. And they'd gotten my brother a horse. And they'd gotten me a mule. And it wasn't just any mule. They said that they didn't think I could handle a real horse. Now, how could they not have known I was gay? I mean, they knew enough not to get me a horse. I don't know. Maybe when I was a kid, they caught me riding my hobby horse Side Saddle. I don't know. What were they so afraid of? That if I got on a real horse, I'd start doing Barbara Stanwyck impersonations? Heath! The barn's on fire! Quick! I mean, I don't know. Anyway, they got me this mule. And oh, this poor mule. She was 14 years old. She was so old that when I got on her, she'd just sit down. Instead of yelling, "Giddy up," I'd be standing beside her yelling, "Get up!" So as usual, I took lemons and turned them into lemonade. What do you do when you're a little gay boy in a town called Jar, Alabama? So I just made that mule my best friend. I named her Bessie Smith. Within 2 hours, I had braided her tail with ribbon. I tied a yellow bandana around her neck, and I cut ear holes in a sombrero and put it on her head. Oh, she was fabulous. We were very close. I used to walk through the streets of Jar with her window shopping. I'd say, "Oh, Bessie, look, that hat would look fantastic on you. I wonder how much money I've got saved up in my allowance." One day we were walking through town and a man said, "Look at that ass!" I said, "Thank you." He said, "I meant the mule." I never got any respect in Jar, Alabama. But see, I could pour my heart out about things like that to Bessie. She was a great listener. I used to pour my heart out to her all the time. I'd say, "Bessie, I hate it here. Do you think if you rested up for a few days, you'd have the strength to ride me as far as Birmingham? I gotta get out of here." My buddies always thought I was so cool when they found out I was hanging out with a 14-year-old female. Until they found out she was a mule. But I didn't care. Bessie and I had fun, despite everybody else's intentions. You know that pink satin quilted robe your mom always had? I took my mom's old one and gave it to Bessie. I put it on her like a cape and referred to her as Evita. I loved Bessie so much. But it could be problematic having a mule as a best friend. Slumber parties were a problem. Because she slept standing up. And I'm allergic to hay, I always was. How could my parents not have known I was gay? I hung curtains in Bessie's stall. I referred to it as her apartment. I'd say, "I'll be back for dinner. I'm going over to Bessie's." I put up posters of Mr. Ed. I wanted it to be pleasant for her in there. I love that mule so much, and I have to tell you that a part of me is ashamed because on Bessie's deathbed, I promised her that I would never wear leather. She'd poured her heart out to me at how traumatized she'd been by what happened to her mom and dad. But that's before I got hired by Morgan Gray's. And I love style, so I carry my Morgan Gray's knapsack with pride.
It's a half duffel. Half duffel.
It's a half duffel.
Half duffel.
It's a half duffel. I carry my I didn't know that. The half duffel. I carry my half duffel Morgan Gray's bag with pride. I carry my Morgan Gray's leather portfolio with pride. And when I think about, thank you. And when I think of Bessie, I get so ashamed. Because I'm so happy to be here, but I'm so glad Bessie's dead so that she doesn't witness me doing this. And every day, I so hope that I'm not carrying my money in her.
It's not mule leather, for God's sakes.
Oh, it isn't? They don't make it out of mules?
Of course they don't. Of course
Oh, they don't make it out of mules. Oh, I'm Dennis Fowler for Morgan Gray's Handsome Style. They don't make it out of mules?
Of course they don't.
Oh.